Hey, what's going on? Tony here from LearnAutoBodyAndPaint.com. Now, what is popping? In this video, I'm gonna show you something really cool on this door. It's done, but we're gonna show you how he transformed it from a red piece of crap. I'm gonna show you how to prime it. We're using the same 2K we're using the same SprayMax 2K primer filler to go on top of it. And then I'm gonna show you how to get rid of the undercoat section on the bottom of the door if you wanna get rid of that. And we're gonna go ahead and do a demo on the Atom X20 high volume low pressure spray gun to spray our base coat. And I think you're gonna love it. So all you gotta do to learn more is click right over here to get a free 85-page auto body and paint manual. Maybe even check out VIP, and I will talk to you soon. Keep watching. Mostly covering a lot of people's questions, you know, and I get tons of questions every single day, and sometimes I just can't answer them all. So we're gonna be doing some test panels here. If you look at the bottom, you can see that it has a texture to it. This is an undercoating texture that they sprayed on and then just sprayed the color, the base and clear on top of that. Now, if you wanna take this out, which I've done on that Miata project up there, all you have to do is just sand it out. Now, it's gonna be kind of like a cakey, rubbery material, and you're gonna have to just get down to the nitty gritty, get some 80 grit sandpaper and just sand it all off. We have some deep scratches here from my dolly that I was moving the door around with over here as well. So we're actually gonna sand this down with a 320 grit DA to cut it down quickly, and then we're gonna wash it down with 400. Then we're gonna 2K prime it. All right, and I'm gonna be using the SprayMax primer, which you see right over here. Okay, because I don't want to go mixing some primers and get my guns dirty. So we're just going to use that. It's just a regular 2K primer. You could use any brand you want. I also have Advantage here in my cabinet that I use. 2K primer. You can see it right over here, Advantage. This is good stuff. It's inexpensive, it's affordable, and it dries good. It dries hard. So I don't recommend Advantage Clearcoat. Clearcoat sucks, but the primer is not bad. It's a good product. You can see all of the texture here, our undercoating. So we're gonna sand maybe half of it or a quarter of it or a third of it flat. Then we're gonna 2K prime it, and I'm gonna show you how to get it flat. Basically, you know, sanding out the undercoating here. Right, and we're not gonna worry about the handle. I'll probably just paint right over it. It's just a parts store. Here we are going to take out our trim. Okay, this is a great tool to have. This is a snap-on product here. Good for pulling out trim. You can see that it's pretty much it. It's screwed on here. Not screwed on, but we have a little, but this is all garbage. This whole door, this is just a test panel for you guys. And we're gonna be doing some candy colors and all kinds of cool stuff on these panels. And we're also gonna be spraying with our Atom spray guns. These are the Atom X27s here. And that's pretty much it. So keep watching. Alrighty, so we have our 320 grit sandpaper here, sanding our clear coat and paint flat. All right, so when I say flat, it means taking out the orange peel, getting the panel flat looking, so it's nice and even. So the chips here at the end of the door, very important to sand those out if you're doing your complete paint job or whatever, because it's a very common spot. So don't forget to get your chips. Don't be afraid to go to metal, because you want to feather in and smooth all those chips out the corner of the door. So when you prime, it'll cover everything and you'll be all good. All right. So as we keep sanding here, we're going to be moving in and changing our pad to a 80 grit in just a bit here. So here we go. 80 grit. Pumping it on, we're going to sand out the undercoating that Mazda decided to put on the bottom of all of their Miatas. You can see me sand out here. We're taking it out, and we're actually going to keep going all the way down to metal. Takes a little bit of time. If you have 60 grit, you could actually use 60 grit, get down a little bit quicker. I didn't have any. I'm using 80. 80 is pretty good all around. You see these sections in here? Okay, this ultimately should be feathered out and sanded better than this. we can see this is the original color underneath, and then they sprayed a red and clear on top of it, which is actually peeling and having an issue of peeling in this area. You can see kind of the peel marks here. This is how you can tell a car was painted before. How to get rid of the undercoating finish on the bottom here. So all we did was get 80 grit, and I sanded down all of the undercoating. You can see it, I faded it up in here, right? So we're just gonna prime this area quick so you can see how we turned this undercoating, sanding it out to basically flat, like up in here, okay? The door has a lot of scratches up in here. When I was moving the door around with the dolly, it scratched it all up here. So we're gonna 2K prime all this, fill it, and try to get it filled up so the paint job doesn't look that bad, right? So that's pretty much it. We're not even gonna worry about this. We're gonna paint the handle and everything. This is just a junkyard door. I was setting it up, mounting it, and it fell on the floor and dented this part out. You can kind of see what happened. But I ended up having to screw it to my crate here and just hit this quick before we prime it. Wax and grease. It's always good to clean your panels. And we're gonna see what it looks like if you paint over this. This should not be like this. It should be sanded out even better. Okay, even like up in here, we're just gonna prime right over it. Bad thing to do, but it's a video showing you, you know, what happens if you do this, right? What happens if you do it like this? Sanded that spot quick to give you a comparison. All right, so we're ready to spray these panels here. Now, one thing I wanted to mention was, remember, the body work isn't 100%. There's still kind of like a wave ripple dent here. We didn't do the body work. We're just spraying and testing out our Spray Max 2K primer aerosol can, and also testing out the spray guns. And I want to kind of teach you the process of this is how it's done. Now, if you see in here, we're going to see that we did cut through to some paint. In some areas, we might have even cut through some metal, okay? And these are things that you want to avoid when doing your job, all right? You do not really want to paint over bare metal, and I'm going to show you a trick on how to cover bare metal, you know? But ideally, what you would want to do is retouch up these areas, and I sprayed very light coat of primer on here because that one can didn't have enough primer to really cover these two pieces very heavily. So, normally you would spray your primer on a little thicker And be careful, watch out when sanding that you don't cut through, okay? Just take it a little bit at a time. And if you cut through in some areas, that's fine, not a big deal. What I recommend is just touching those areas up quickly and then scuffing it. You could just dry sand it, scuff it before painting. And then, you know, wax and grease it like we just did, right? Then you could tack it down and paint it. So these spots, I'm gonna show you how to cover them without priming them, all right? We're just gonna dust it and cover it with our base coat, these little areas here. Again, side note, normally you would want to cover it with primer. Another thing you could do if you want to cheat is use a 1K primer, okay? Basically like a lacquer primer, 1K, and just hit it, then let it dry, sand it with your 4-600 grit, get it scuffed up, tack it, and then paint it. You don't want to use wax and grease remover, okay, your cleaner, this stuff on a 1K primer, it'll melt it off. All right, so if you use a 1K as a touch-up, this type of 1K, okay, any kind of 1K, basically just a primer, rattle can primer, then you do not want to wax and grease. You just hit it, let it dry for 10-15 minutes, hit it with a 400 or 600 grit, scuff it, make sure you don't get to the metal again, and then tack it down and then paint it. All right? Important to use a tack rag before you do it. We have to actually tack these pieces down before we start painting. So here we cut through metal. We're just gonna paint the handle. This is just a part car, right? So 4 parts of clear coat, 1 part of hardener. All right, pretty simple, 25% of hardener. And we're only gonna be spraying the door, so we don't have a lot of clear coat. We don't need a lot of clear coat. That's probably going to be more than enough. Okay, 25%, roughly that much. Okay, mix it up. I'll be using the 1.4 tip on the Atom X27 spray gun. Fantastic quality, really nice spray gun. The more I spray with this gun, the more I like it. Alrighty, thank you for watching the video. Now, as you can see, even though we didn't properly finish the door, you know, with sanding out of the clear coat and all of that, it still came out nice. All right, so that's the power of a 2K primer. Once you load it up on the panel, you can see that you can get rid of pretty much anything, but the right way to do it is to sand it out. Now you can see right here, this is where we didn't sand out the undercoat, and this is where we did. All right, pretty cool. Hope you liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe. Also comment below, and don't forget to go to learnautobodyandpaint.com to get a free 85-page auto body and paint manual. Thanks. Now, there was a lot more information that I wanted to go over and explain, but I didn't really want to make a 1 hour long video. And by the way, who watches 1 hour long videos on YouTube anyway? So if you want to learn more things that I kind of left out during the editing process because it was going to get too long and crazy, then go to learnautobodyandpaint.com. Check the site out. There's tons of blog posts, tons of other videos, and you can also get your free 85-page auto body and paint manual. So all you gotta do is click right over here or down below if you're on a desktop, grab that download and check out VIP because there's hundreds of hours of step-by-step auto body videos that'll take you from A to Z through any scenario. Thanks for watching the video. Talk soon. Bye.